Good morning. It is Friday, the last Friday of August, which makes me very, very sad. I'm just gonna make some coffee. I'm working from home today, but at 10 o'clock we do have the farrier coming. My horse's feet are once again very overdue. He said he was gonna call me this time to schedule their next trim, and he didn't. I had a reminder in my calendar to call him in case this happened, and I just kept delaying it for a day or half a day or a day. And now their feet are very, very long. So he will be here at 10, get them all trimmed up. I have to be very, very mindful today to tell him, do not trim Diesel too short, because he was literally sensitive and sore on his feet for 2 weeks after his last trim. So the easy solution would be to put shoes on, but I don't want to do that given that we're probably going into the wetter fall kind of season. So I think I'm just going to tell him to trim the least amount you can off, and I will just get him to come out more frequently. Because given that summer is winding down, I do not want to have to take 2 weeks of riding off because he's sore. I want to get as much riding in as possible. So yeah, we need to keep his feet a little bit longer than what would be ideal, but that's just kind of how things are for him with how he's built and how his feet are, unfortunately. I have no idea what is up lately, but recently Diesel has been very, very spooky about his lead rope. And we actually had a bit of an incident in the barn a few weeks ago where he kind of freaked out on me because of his lead rope, similar to what he did here. Obviously, there's lots of space to move around here. He was never like this before, and I have no idea why he is scared of his lead rope now, but because of that, I am trying at every, opportunity, here before I got on him, to just, wiggle the rope around, just toss it on the ground kind of haphazardly, and just letting him deal with it and realizing it's not something to be afraid of. Because, this is not good. I need him to just stand there like a gentleman, not lose his mind, and just be not scared of the rope that is literally attached to his face. To be honest, it's a little bit frustrating, but we will work through it. So I wanted to show you guys this drill that I've been doing lately. I'm pretty sure I did a drill like this back in the day when I was barrel racing with Junior. I'm pretty sure this is similar to a drill that Judy Millimaki used to teach. I'm sure lots of people teach this drill. It's not anything unique. The reason it came into my brain recently is because one of the girls on Instagram that I follow was doing this drill on her horses. She made a reel about it, and so I decided to set it up and give it a go on Diesel. So the setup is obviously one single barrel in the middle, and then I think I used 6 cones here. There's one behind the barrel that you can't see. And I put them 6 decent stride lengths, my stride lengths, away from the barrel. So they make a big circle around the barrel. And there's a few different things that you can do with this drill, but today I decided to start out trotting around the outside of the cones, and then at random times I would fade him into the inside of the drill and do a bit of a tighter circle around the barrel. And once I've done it a bit at a walk and then a bit at a trot, I kick him up to a lope. The lope is really where I'm wanting to work with him. I need to really get him using his hind end and starting to turn a barrel like a barrel, because he's definitely not doing that. His training up to this point has been, large, fast reining circles and slow, small reining circles. So this whole idea of getting down and dirty and hustling hard around a barrel is completely new to Diesel, and it'll be something that he'll need to get used to. I also need to get comfortable on him doing more aggressive turns, because obviously it's not something I've done with him, so it's just a bit of a learning curve for both of us. But this drill, I think I'm going to use a lot with him. He seemed to respond well to this drill, and I feel like in the few days since we've done it, we've made quite a bit of progress, so that's fun. And then of course, what you do on one side with your horse, you do on the other side as well. So this going counterclockwise or going to the left, it appears that this is his weaker side. I say that, but now I'm kind of questioning it. I feel like he might be a bit more even than I had initially thought. But I just had a ton of fun with this drill, especially when you're at the lope and you try to push him a little bit harder up into the barrel and then really use himself around that barrel. I did a bit right here where I would drop my outside hand to the horn and just kind of try to ride it more like I would in a run. That's something that Molly Powell used to teach. I don't know if she still does, but back in the day when I went to a clinic of hers and when I used to watch her videos, she would teach that you should ride with your hand on your horn. That's how you're going to ride in a pattern, and that's how you should be riding in practice so your horse gets used to it. I don't know if I entirely agree with that, but it's just something that, I'll practice going to my horn now and then, because it is muscle memory that I as a rider need to work on for timing purposes. And then after I did that initial sort of drill, I kind of just played around with Diesel, just trying to open his shoulders a bit, kind of zigzagging and, moving him off my leg around the cones, just willy-nilly kind of wherever we were going to go. I just kind of just at a sitting jog, just, getting him, not anticipating what's happening next. If you do that drill too much, he can start to anticipate we've loped around. She's probably going to ask me to go to the inside and turn the barrel. If I switch it up and do this, then it's all of a sudden he has no idea how many times I'm going to go around any particular cone. He doesn't know if I'm going to push him around one way or the other way. So it gets him really listening to me, and I found that this randomness wakes him up a bit, which is really nice, because Diesel is very, 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 I shouldn't emphasize it that much, but he is very much your stereotypical gelding. He's very, very quiet and can be on the lazier side, which I like on one hand, but sometimes it can be a little bit frustrating, especially if he's not wanting to go when I'm, trying to get some work done on him. And I feel like I'm constantly having to nag him to keep going. That's really annoying. So after I did kind of that willy-nilly random stuff, I went back to how I was initially doing the drill. and just loped some bigger circles around the barrel. These weren't super tight to the barrel. And, just keeping him nice and chill, trying to keep a bit of collection, the hind end up underneath him, which again, that is like one of my main priorities right now, is working with him on getting his butt up underneath him, making sure that he's not strung out so that he can properly use his body around the barrels and be able to really hustle out of them as we're coming out of a turn and heading off to the next barrel or running home. So, and again, I did this in both directions. Again, just really trying to work on body position and honestly just getting comfortable with it as well. Like I've said before, this whole barrel racing training, barrel racing in general, it's a very, very different kind of riding compared to what I was doing for reining and for showing. It's very, very different. It's a different way of thinking and something we need to get used to. And the Farrier finally came and feet are all trimmed up, ready to go. So it's about a day and a half since Diesel and Junior got their feet trimmed. And I've been like holding my breath, hoping that Diesel does not get sore. I did not ride yesterday. My husband and I went and he's into planes, so we went and did plane things. So I did not ride yesterday. I got Diesel in the barn now, and the floor in here is concrete, and like that's the test. Like if he is not sore on the barn floor, then we are good to go. And he's not showing any sense of being tender or anything. So whatever my Farrier did, i.e. keep him a little bit longer, not trim him quite as short, it worked. So we will have to get the Farrier out here more frequently because of it. But if that's what we need to do in order for him to not be sore, then I am like, absolutely, that's what we're gonna do. So we are gonna tack up. I think I'm gonna set up, I do not have like poles for pole bending. I just have cones. I am like toying with the idea of buying poles because I think that would be really fun with Diesel. But we'll set up the cones and I think we'll play with like a pole bending-esque pattern. So that'll be fun. So excuse my dirty floor. I need to sweep the barn aisle. I just wanted to show you guys Diesel's feet. So yeah, the Farrier left them a little bit longer. The trick with keeping them longer though is that they will need to be trimmed more often, just because the longer your horse's feet get, the more they're likely to kind of like grow incorrectly, I guess. They'll flare out and stuff like that. So I will definitely, I have been really bad about getting the Farrier out here on a regular basis, but I need to, knowing this now, need to be a lot more consistent on getting the Farrier out here more often. Look at how cute that nose is. Hello. You're very pretty. Junior is out there. He is having a hissy fit because he is all by himself. He's 24 years old and can't handle half an hour on his own. It's hilarious. Yeah, there we go. He's been pacing the fence, constantly whinnying and just acting ridiculous. Junior. You're okay. He could even see us from the arena, but he was still just losing his mind. Gives him a bit of exercise anyways. Hi, buddy. We'll be right over.